Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Standing by a purpose true, heeding God's command. Honor them, the faithful few. All hail to Daniel's band. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Many mighty men are lost, daring not to stand, who for God has been a host by joining Daniel's band. Welcome. This is the Daniel YouTube page. I am the Daniel. This is my new show. This is my long version show. I've done other shows in the past. I did Living in Babylon. Living in Babylon was my old show. And then I do French Louis poetry. You can check those out on YouTube. I don't think Living in Babylon's on YouTube anymore. But I got a new show coming out called The Christian Conspiracy. I don't know if this is going to turn into The Christian Conspiracy or if this is going to be my The Daniel Show, where I just do a variety show where I just talk to you, or more of a question and answer. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff. And produce me. Be my producer. I don't have a producer, so I don't know what to talk about unless you tell me what to talk about. I mean, I have things to talk about. I have things to say, but I don't know if you're interested in them. Hopefully you do. But I've done a lot of flat earth stuff, and I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm a truther, and all that stuff. But what I'm really interested in is belief in what you know and how you know it. And every belief comes from an authority, whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not. You believe things because someone told you. That's really all it is. There's the words, and then we take those words and interpret them. Now, I'm a point of contact, you're a point of contact, and if the thing that we say is equal to what we believe, that becomes the belief, the third thing. I say the earth is flat, you say the earth is a globe. We can look at what you believe, and you believe in these pictures that NASA gives you, and that your government pays for. My government pays for them too. And then when I question them, that power system says, no, you can't question them. You can't question those pictures. They admit that those pictures are created by computers. CGI, computer-generated images. The first picture of the Earth was in 1972. It was 1976, called Blue Marble. That is a 100% fact. Without computers, there is no pictures of the Earth. Now, in 1920s, or maybe it was even earlier, Universal Studios, Disney Studios came out with pictures of the Earth. In 1492, the Jesuits came out with pictures of the Earth with globes using cardboard. Then they became computers. There is no use of the globe outside of just using it to tell people it's a globe. Every time you use navigation, you use a flat plane, you use a flat map. Now that is not just, that's belief, but it's also something that there's words and then there's deeds. And the deeds of our belief should mirror what we see, what we touch, what we taste, what we do. And then there's huge disagreements. The mind is very controlled by pictures. So when you get to that understanding, and you get to the understanding that someone is trying to control your mind through what you see and give you pictures and then control your spirituality, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. But this is not just about flat earth. This is about belief and how you get there, and whatever you guys want to do, leave me a comment and let me know. Again, my name is the Daniel, a Daniel. My name is Daniel. I'm not the Daniel, but I use it as like I am a Daniel. Daniel was a character in the Bible, which was the book of Daniel, which is actually the oldest book according to scholars, religious scholars, non-Christian, Jewish, it doesn't matter what they say. The book of Daniel was the oldest. The first empire was Babylon. Babylon came out of a town called Shinar. Shinar was where Babel was. They were trying to build a tower. It's a story about how they're trying to make a great name for themselves. And then out of that came an empire. Empires are world powers, and they kind of run commerce and society and plumbing, and everybody moves in, and then it becomes all spiritual and all weird, and then they usually fall apart. And Daniel was prophesying to the king that there was a new empire, Persia, then Greece, then Rome, that was going to take over, and then Jesus was going to come back. That's basically what he was saying in the book of Daniel. They didn't like his interpretation right away. They threw him in the lion's den. God showed up, and then they even kept him closer, moved him into the king's house because he was standing up for God, but they couldn't do anything. They couldn't even kill the guy. So conspiracy theorists. I am not like that, but I'm a watcher. So watchers aren't prophets, but what they understand is they understand what the prophets were saying, not because they understood the words of God, they understood the governments and they understood the lies of the governments, and they were willing to go against the governments, and they understood beliefs, and then they understood these empires, and they were kind of helping rewrite, kind of pass along history in a non-religious way. And that's kind of more what I am. I'm not a prophet, I'm a watcher. That's what conspiracy theorists are. We're truthers, we're understanding and we're interpreting the real hard facts of how things actually work. And the fact that your pictures of what you believe come from pictures, or the words actually of what you believe come through pictures, and they dumb down the language and then to control your mind. So before I go any further, I forgot, I have an intro song. So yeah, I'm gonna play my intro song, even though we're 5 minutes in, and then we'll discuss some more stuff. But yeah, let me play the song. I'm not very high tech here, but I recorded it. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known, standing by a purpose true, heeding God's command. Honor them, the faithful few. All hail to Daniel's band. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Many mighty men are lost, daring not to stand, who for God has been a host by joining Daniel's band. All right, yeah. All right, so welcome to the show. Welcome to the Daniel YouTube show. I have another show on YouTube called French Louis Poetry. Feel free to check that out. I say the same kind of things, but I do them in poems. So that's on YouTube as well, French Louis Poetry. And then this will be more question and answer. Leave comments, and I'll try to answer your questions. Or if there's topics you want to talk about, we will get into that. And tell me what you believe. Tell me how you believe it. Tell me why you believe it. Tell me where that belief comes from. I took my Bible. So let me tell you a story about me. This is my audition tape for you. To you, get to know me. I took my Bible, not this one, but I took a Bible about 2015, and I threw it against the wall, and I said, this doesn't make sense to me. God, show up and let me know, explain this stuff to me, because this just doesn't make sense. And he did, and he showed up to me with cosmology, with the studies of the heavens, with understanding flat earth, with understanding the creation, and I understood that God is a creator, and that creation has been stolen from God through people that understood God's creation, made a bet with God, and said, we can manage your creation better than you, and we can create everlasting life, basically. And that's what they're kind of possessed with. And I don't really know all the gist of what they're doing, but that's your reality. Our reality is that we were born not knowing things, and then other people already knew things, are passing that information. What that information is the genome. It's the gene, and they're trying to recreate the gene. They're trying to recreate life. Trees, are these bushes, or the trees used to be big monster trees, where they're big giants of people. I don't know. There's pictures of that. They're trying to hide history and hide the timeline, so then they can control our minds and really just get us to worship them. And they're really just bored, I think. And they're just psychos that get off on making a great name for yourself. It's called idolatry, idol worship, which is just worshiping a fake god, or becoming a fake god, or becoming a deity. Pagans are star worshipers. They take a symbol from the stars or the creation, well, really just the stars, and then they use that energy to get you to believe in it. Albert Pike wrote a book. He was a Freemason, wrote Morals and Dogma. If you read his book, the whole first half of the book is just about how you take symbols and then you create businesses with those symbols, and if people know you're doing it, it doesn't work. But if people don't know you're doing it, then you can use the energy from those symbols to mesmerize people's minds. It's called alchemy. It's just a version of magic. A lot of people, heathens, are people that take that energy and then they worship, and they become so overcome with emotions and energy and just think that's the point of existence, is, just worshiping themselves. That's what a modern day Democrat is. If you listen to my poems, I go down pretty hard on Democrats. Democrats are heathens, so they're self-worshippers. Pagans are earth worshippers. Those are the people, the bankers, the people in the high courts, the people that are running the government. Most people in government are just failed actors, and then they're just trying to make a great name for themselves that way. And that's all life really is just people trying to make themselves feel good. and it's kind of annoying. And then other people are trying to figure that out, and then they either join them or they try to create their own thing, and then to create their own thing, they have to use the created order in order to manage it, and it just goes around in a circle. And what I'm doing is watching it. I'm watching the show. This is the show about the show. The show is life. The life has been turned into a game. That game is buy low, sell high, and then when you sell high, you make yourself great, but then you don't even feel great because it's a lie. And that was the lie the devil told Adam and Eve. Adam is the first, Eve is the last. Together they are the story of the first and the last and the fall of that. And because they went against God, and going against God was the knowledge of good and evil, that you will not surely die outside of God's system, that you can recreate God's system. That's the cloning of the genes. That's the science. That's all the eugenics of this great lie that you can have everlasting life, that you can fly to another planet and like things will be different there. No, it'll be the same problems, but there is no other. That's the super lie, that we're stuck in this fishbowl of some sort. Is it an eternal plane when you go outside the ice wall? Is there a star net that you just lose your memory, or is it go on forever? We don't know. We would love to explore it, but the big money won't let us. So we'll get into flat Earth. I mean, that's probably my go-to, but it's more of a belief. And then so it starts with pictures, and then pictures. I mean, we'll go to the end of the beginning. Flat Earth is the first conspiracy. Everybody thought the Earth was geocentric, the center of existence. Now, that's not the shape of the Earth. Geocentrism became a globe. Ptolemy thought the Earth was some sort of a sphere, but he also thought that sphere was existence itself. Heliocentrism says, no, it's not existence itself. Existence is the sun, and there's this system called a solar system in a universe, and that's existence. God's existence, geocentrism, it's probably not geocentric, it's probably God-centric, and then we live in a dream in God's mind. He created this, he spoke it into existence. That's what the book of Genesis says, and then that's what Genesis 1 is, and then Genesis 2 is the retelling of that story through one family, through Adam and Eve, the beginning and the end. Then God says he's the beginning and the end in Revelation, the Alpha and the Omega. The creator God who spoke the existence into creation and then manages it and trying to bring everything back to him. That's the theology of it. That's the Christianity part of it. Most Christians go towards self-righteousness, and they use rules, and then they say, oh, let's argue about this word and this verse. And I try not to get too much into that, man. I'm someone that just wants to discuss this without going too deep into it, because when you go too deep into it, then you wear it, and then you become it. And I'm just trying to live life, but I'm also trying to live life on my own terms and not be possessed by other people's dreams and other people's desires. And I want to, if it's not hurting me and if it's a good deal for me, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to trade with you. But if you're trying to manipulate my value, if you're trying to do a switcheroo on me so you become greater, so your value is shined more than mine, I have a problem with that. So that's kind of where I step up and say, no, you guys are all just trying to make yourselves look great and feel great. And you see that with the celebrities, you see that with the athletes, and now they're trying to they want to consume your mind. They want to consume everything. And I'm here to just set you free. I'm here to let you know that someone's trying to possess your mind and create a story in your mind by just asking you, what do you believe? What do you believe, and how do you believe it? And why, what, where, how, and all that stuff. And this is fun. I do it this way. I'm more comfortable in the poetic form. I'm more comfortable doing it with a rhyme and a rhythm. So check out French Louis Poetry. That's just a pseudonym I write under. He was a person that lived in an area where I grew up, and he was a logger, and he was a cool guy. So, and his name sounds poetic, so I use it. And I do have permission to use it. So I use it to write my poems, and then I do this, the long version. So hopefully I have a better studio next time, better backdrop. I used to, for Living in Babylon, I had a pretty good setup, but that show didn't have any direction. I'm gonna do a show called The Christian Conspiracy, where a conspiracy is just when someone tries to conspire against you, someone tries to trick you, and then they call you what they are to hide it. And then so we call ourselves conspiracies. The conspiracy of Christianity is them hiding God, of them hiding the creation story, of them hiding the belief, of them creating a new belief, and then hiding it in plain sight, and then making it all about you, or making it all about the creation, and worshiping the creation, or worshiping the idol, worshiping the statue, or worshiping the gold and the silver, and then trying to make a great name for yourself. Make it all about me, 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 me. What we're supposed to do here in life is reflect things off of God. He's given us men and women, and then we're supposed to get together and we're different. We're two sides of two different compasses of two different energy sources, and then together we don't get along, and then we're supposed to beam energy towards each other and then create a new creation, and then that's supposed to connect us to God and see God. We've rejected that, but also it's all mess anyway, and then we're supposed to come to God and open up the heavens through calling on God's name and seeing God. And I believe, I think, I mean, he's there. He's in the stars. God Almighty, the Alpha and the Omega, he is in the stars. We could all go out and hold hands together and scream, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. It was and is to come. And I believe God would show up and you'd see him on a throne. The energy is there. They play with those power of the stars. I believe there is power in the stars, but they're manipulating that power. And we're in a new star cycle, and they don't have the juju anymore. And we're in the Aquarian star cycle, which is of openness and freeness and questions, and they don't have it anymore. They do not have the power of the stars, and their empire is falling, and they know that. That's why they're trying to build their technocracy and put microchips in everybody, and everybody's in on. Everybody gets into power, and they go, oh, let's put microchips in them. Let's put microchips in them. So let's control their brain. Let's control their money, because the money is the god of this world. But it is not my god, man. I do not worship money. I do not worship your money. I need some, just like you. But they won't let us eat. They won't let us sleep. They will throw us in literal lions' dens if we go against them too hard. But there is a power source out there, man. Ooh, he's powerful. So anyways, that's the Daniel. That's what I'm about. And feel free to like, share, and hopefully next time I'll leave some comments, and I'll have something specific to talk to you about. Otherwise, I'll turn this into the Christian conspiracy, and I'll come up with some things of my own. But I just don't want to talk to myself. I want to talk to you guys, and this is my audition tape to you. So hopefully you listened and got something to say and got something that you want to hear me say. So until next time, bye.